People often wonder, how did I get in this situation? And I don't deny it's my decisions I make. And I make some not smart decisions. My name's Ken Tracy. I do a talk show called Coffee with Ken. I go live every morning. I was doing my live a little bit ago, and the sound went off on my live broadcast because the alarm I had set on my phone went off. And for some reason, turning off the alarm muted my live broadcast. But anyway, so it's 6:30 in the morning, and I need to hop in the shower. I get to hop in the shower and head off to work pretty soon. I need to be in the shower by about 6:50, 6:55 this morning. So what a smart guy would do is probably say, what the heck? That live show was over. We'll just start getting ready for work and get in the shower, maybe get to work early. But I'm not necessarily that guy. So what I do is go, wow, my audience is gone. I miss them a little bit. I planned to talk for another 20 minutes. So what I do is I start a Coffee with Ken, Thursday morning Coffee with Ken, part 2, to either finish the conversation I was having with you fine folk that were watching part 1, or I don't know, perhaps to create new conversations to have, maybe meet new viewers, grow my audience. I've been doing this show a long time, for about 6.5 years. Started over on Facebook just kind of by accident, and was going fairly regularly every Saturday morning on Facebook for a few years. And about 3 or 4 years ago, I got separated from my second wife and stopped drinking alcohol and smoking weed, all kind of at the same time. And I was talking about some really good topics, and a buddy of mine and his daughter were watching the show and saying, wow, this is really good. This is important stuff. He should share it on TikTok. So I started doing my show on TikTok, I don't know, about 3 years ago. And back in January, TikTok got banned here in the States. So I went to YouTube the next morning, and I've been going live for the last 10, 11 months here on YouTube and enjoying it. Turns out it's a lot better live platform than I expected it to be. I get a vibrant audience. It grows a little bit every day, and it's really the hub of my content creation. And I think the most reliable platform in terms of content creation or social media out there. I think TikTok could go away for whatever reason in a month. And I don't know if society would miss it a whole heck of a lot. I think we'd be fine. But I think YouTube has a serious foundation as a platform, and something that's is here to stay. So been enjoying it, my experience on YouTube. Hello, Brian. What kind of coffee do I like? Well, I'm really digging the pumpkin spice from Starbucks. It comes in an orange bag. About 2 months ago, I bought 2 large orange bags, and I drink that probably about half the time. And my bag only has 1 more pot left. Makes me kind of sad. I was at a Ross Stores the other day for the first time. I needed to buy a belt, and somebody I worked with, my belt broke. By the way, my belt broke. It didn't break in the traditional sense that I would expect from years of use and the leather cracking. It was one of those reversible belts, if you know what I mean, which I thought was an amazing invention until the clasp that holds the metal together on the reversible feature broke. And I'm sitting at work, and I think I was taking some dishes out of the dishwasher. I was doing my bartender job, and my boss, who's extremely cute, by the way, I don't know if that's relevant, but she is, was talking to me and telling me something. And suddenly I felt a change in my pants. And I go, boss, I didn't call her boss, but I'm not going to use her name. My belt just broke. And she giggled. I go, I don't think it's because I'm fat. Something else happened. I don't know what's going on. And I did some investigating. It broke at the clasp. And I was telling this story because I was working as a bartender. I'm having conversations. I've got a big mouth. I don't keep anything secret. I'm serving drinks to these people. And I'm going, hey, my belt broke. And most of the guys had been through a similar experience. And I said, wow, I thought this reversible belt strategy was a good idea, but I'm never going to buy a reversible belt again, given what I've just gone through. I was telling this to a guy at work, and he was saying how Ross Stores is a great place to shop, and you can buy things at a real low cost. I'd never been, but I did know where there was one in Appleton, Wisconsin. I drove towards it. It's right next to a huge Walmart, which was a good backup plan if Ross Stores wasn't right. And I noticed there was a TJ Maxx right next to it. And I'd been to TJ Maxx, had fairly good experiences. Thought about going there, ended up taking pictures of both of them and posting them on social media and saying, hey, which store do you prefer? Brian says they always break on the clasp, those belts. Yeah. I mean, I'd only had that belt like 6 months. It wasn't like overly tight, but the clasp broke. So anyway, I vowed never to get one again. And I chose to go to Ross Stores. I went in. It was kind of crowded, a little bit dingy, a little bit chaotic feeling. But I was okay. I wasn't like buying, I was buying a belt. You know what I mean? How dingy can a belt be? But anyway, I found the belts. And they were almost all reversible. The ones that were reversible, I did not like the way they looked. So I ended up buying another reversible belt. I'll keep you posted. I mean, it seems like an amazing idea. You ladies might not even know what the point of the reversible belt is. The belt's supposed to match the shoes. So if you're wearing like brown shoes or dress shoes, I guess if you're wearing tennis shoes, it just doesn't matter. You can probably wear anything. But if you're wearing brown dress shoes, you should be wearing a brown belt. And if you're wearing black dress shoes, you should be wearing a black belt. Again. So you think buying the reversible belts, it's like two belts in one. And it is. Until it breaks. Jake suggests I get two belts. But my point is, Ross Stores almost only had reversible belts. I don't know where they get their inventory from. I don't know if the one-sided belt is going the way of the dodo bird, but almost every belt they had was reversible, and the ones that weren't, I didn't like the way they looked. They had weird big belt buckles or something like that. Do I have shampoo? No, I don't. I do have Irish Spring. Oh yeah, I know. It's because of my age that I use Irish Spring. That's okay to me. A good belt is at least $80. And that could be true. That could be true. That seems awfully expensive for that seems expensive for a belt. And again, I bought one that just broke. And I went to Ross Stores and spent $13 on a belt. But I think it was like a Perry Ellis, so it's a good brand. The other belt I had was Levi's, which I thought would have been a name brand. It wouldn't have been falling apart, and it fell apart. So anyway, I'm going to be going to work today. I'm working today as a substitute teacher, and knowing that I'm wearing a belt that's like a time bomb waiting to go off. I can't afford to lose weight. I've been talking about it for a while. I haven't been really committed to my diet that I know works. I don't have many pleasures left in life. All I do with my time is I work, I rest, and I go to the gym. I don't drink alcohol. I haven't dated. I don't smoke weed anymore. So I don't gamble really. So I've removed all the vices. And yes, I almost count women as a vice. It was in my case for my life. So to completely wipe out gorging from time to time wouldn't seem like a lot of fun. But my point is, I'm probably about 10 pounds overweight. I weigh about 218 right now. I'd like to weigh about 208. And I can't afford to lose that 10 pounds because if I do, and my belt breaks, my pants will fall right down to my ankles. There's pleasure in wearing a good, reliable belt. Well, good morning, Rich Sternickel. I mean, I don't know how much pleasure there is in wearing a good, reliable belt. I mean, I'm sure there might be some pleasure in it, but it's not like wearing a new shirt or a new tie or a new suit or even a new pair of shoes, although a new pair of shoes is a challenge in and of itself. And I remember some very painful days wearing new shoes. Got to be careful with that. You got to break them in, but they're hard to break in. I've got shoes that I just don't think are right for my feet, or I don't wear them enough. That have never been very comfortable. I guess I don't wear dress shoes very often. None of my jobs I have currently require them. So they're never broken in or feeling soft, and I wear them and I feel soreness in my feet. Yeah. Sweet Flynn, I'm glad you're back. I was worried I'd lost you. For anybody just hopping on, this is part 2 of my show. My alarm went off and I muted my first show, so I hopped back on. I get to go to work in a few minutes. Am I dating these days? I'm not. I have no work-life balance. I have 3 jobs, which I think is more difficult than one 50-hour job. Having 3 jobs that I probably work 50 hours a week at is far more challenging than working one job where you work 45 or whatever, just because you're juggling them. And every day for me, I don't just go in at 9 and leave at 5. And I'm trying to pick up as many as I can, as many shifts as I can. And this week, for the very first time, I'm working I'm substituting teaching 3 days this week. By the way, I taught at a high school yesterday in my area, and it's the first time I substituted at a high school. Yesterday, I think, was my 6th day substitute teaching. Today will be my 7th. Every day but yesterday, I've done elementary, just the little kids. And I do well with the little kids, and I connect with them, and they seem to get a kick out of me. And I was scared a little bit at the high school level. But I think I did really, really well at high school yesterday and connecting with the high school kids. And I liked being at the school, and it was a really neat experience. Why don't I have a 9-to-5? I've never really been much of a 9-to-5er. I was a realtor from 2005 to 2023, which is certainly not a 9-to-5 job. And I went through a divorce a few years ago, and my wife was my partner, and it was grotesquely painful and ugly. And I didn't feel I made much of a difference being a realtor, to be honest with you. So I left, but I left without a firm plan on what I wanted to do when I grew up. And my financial responsibilities and desire to keep a roof over my head has led me down a path that has me working as a bartender, a server at a different restaurant, and as a substitute teacher. And I'm really enjoying substitute teaching and feel it makes a difference. And I don't know, I just kind of feel good when I'm getting ready and heading off to school and walking into the class and having the kids stare at me and go, "What's this tall guy doing? Why doesn't he have any hair? Who is he?" And I think I do real well, surprisingly, in a educational setting. I never really loved school, but I think I do well there, and I think the kids like me, and I think I pour myself into it. Somebody asked, what subject do I teach? Yesterday, I was in a special ed class at high school, and I was working just on with fractions and counting, and it was math for a bulk of it, but it was really sweet because I had a lesson plan. Again, I'm just a substitute teacher, and they give me a lesson plan, and I think it would have been really easy to stand up at the front of class and just say, read the next question on the workbook they had. But it was so easy when you're doing fractions to break off and make it a little more fun. And instead of counting the slices of the watermelon that was in the workbook, count the number of kids in class. And one of the girls had to go and go to a different class. And I said, oh, and I was talking to them about numerators and denominators and odds and evens and greater than and less than. And not like hard stuff at all, but impactful stuff for kids that needed somebody to have a passion for teaching like I did yesterday. And I don't know if I could bring the energy I brought to that classroom every day, but I sure did a great job yesterday, I'll tell you that. Oh, it's nice. Thank you, Rebecca. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. My YouTube froze. And I was saying thank you to Lori and Rebecca. Yeah, no, it feels really good. And yesterday was a neat day, and I'm excited. I'll be excited next time that I go to that high school, because I think I'm surprised a little bit that I think I could do very well at a high school level, whether it's a special ed class or some other class. And I'll tell you what, new high schools today have a ton of cool different classes to take. When I was a kid, there was industrial arts, and I think there was probably home ec and some various classes. And I think they might have had like a mechanics class where you could work on cars. But I think they take that to another level in schools today. And I'm wondering what amount of classes one could teach. Is there a social media class? Is there an SEO class? Is there a real estate sales class? Is there I guess I don't know what is possibly available to me. And it made it kind of interesting going, boy, if I could, again, I felt really strong teaching fractions to these kids that needed somebody to really care about explaining fractions to them. But I wonder if there's, topics or subjects that really match my experience, and I think that could be awesome as well. Lori said, high school seems better than when you went. I'll tell you what, yesterday's high school was amazing. And it felt very open-aired, and some of the classes were conducted in the hallways, but the hallways don't look like they did when I went, for sure. And it was a great, great experience. And I hope to go back soon. But it is 6:53 in the morning. And I want to thank you so much for joining me for Thursday Morning Coffee with Ken, Part 2. Schlievil pictures me as a history teacher. I think I could do real well with history too, Schlievil. I don't have a... Oh, okay, before I go, Schlievil, you do a little research, and you live in Wisconsin, not to tell you to do research, but I was at my bar job the other day talking about substitute teaching, and a woman said, hey, her sister or somebody is a principal in a school district in the area. They can find workarounds to having an education degree. And I was a little skeptical, but I started doing some research, and since there's such a shortage of teachers, they can grant you like an emergency license, which basically you get a teaching job under the agreement that you will get the license over the next 2 years. And it was intriguing to me, and it made me think it's possible that I could get more of a regular gig and be teaching social studies or fractions or, I don't know, hopefully not shop class or home ec. I wouldn't do very well with that. Yeah. Good morning, sad man. Yeah, Schlievil, I do enjoy it. Again, it's as a substitute, it's nice because I'm not working every day with the same class in the same school. So it keeps it kind of fun and interesting for me that I'm going to go today to a different school today. So it's really neat. And it's been a really neat experience, and I'm enjoying it a lot, and honestly need the job a lot, so it works out well. But anyway, it's 6:55. I get to hop in the shower, and I get to head off to substitute teaching. Today I'm going to be working with elementary kids. I don't know what class I'm going to be in, but I'm going to be doing my best. I am excited about my day, and I hope you are excited about your day. And I hope you're feeling good. You're having a great, great week. You had a great night's sleep. You are feeling good. You are loving yourself. You are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.